All right, everybody, welcome. My name is Steve Akley. We have a great virtual bourbon event tonight. We're going to be trying the two products from Maker's Mark FAE 01 and FAE 02, the two wood finishing series items that came out this year. So this year was different than the years past, where they were released one, and they came out with two this year. So let's go ahead and pour those. We'll pour both of them. And then I've got a little bit of information about the series itself before we get into the tasting. So it'll rest a little bit before we get started here. So just go ahead and pour both. You can put them aside, though. We won't start tasting for just a little bit here. All right. Okay. All right. So this series officially started in 2019, but it really goes back before that. And I don't know, maybe it goes back a lot before that when, they started, putting together the what would become the private select things where they put the staves in there. They take regular Maker's Mark and then they, empty it and batch it all together. And then they, put it into a new barrel with staves and then finish it in what is now the cave, as it's known. But of course, over time, they wanted to experiment with the staves that are in there and try some different ones. And I know over the past year, they've come up with a new one that replaced the Mocha one with a different one now. And the goal is to keep it fresh by, because at some point, you go through all the different possibilities and they want people to continue to innovate. So they rotated one in, but during the experimentation for that one time, they found one that was really delicious. It was in 2018. They called it Seared BU. It provided a butterscotch-like finish, so it was a butterscotch bomb. But what they found is it didn't play well with the other staves. So they couldn't add it into the program because the only way it would taste good is if you did all 10 staves, the Seared BU staves. So they had this test batch, and they're like, "This is some really good stuff." And I don't think we've got anybody here. Oh, Justine was there at the New Orleans Bourbon Festival in 2018, the last time they did a New Orleans Bourbon Festival. I don't know if you went to the Maker's Mark event or not, but Rob Samuels was there. He talked, and at the end of his session, he had this Seared BU, and he actually poured it out for the attendees. And that was our first taste of it. Really good. And it was everything. It lived up to everything that he talked about, being a butterscotch bomb and all that. And they did have enough, but they didn't do a nationwide release or anything like that. They sold it through the gift shop. So it was a gift shop release. What's going on with Rick over there? He's leaving. Rick has left the building. But so in 2018, they did do it, but they don't really consider that the part of the series because they didn't do any sort of release beyond just a gift shop thing. So, but they knew they were onto something. So they thought they would continue to do experiments that might work into the program, or could be these one-offs, but they would make more to make it enough for a nationwide yearly release. That was the idea. So in 2019, they came up with one called RC6. And they always, have some sort of in mind what it's going to be like. And this one really was about, fruity notes and baking spice, and really kind of a baking spice bomb, if you ask me. RC6 was really a good one, very popular. In 2020, they came out with the worst name so far, SE4PR5. I don't know how you expect anybody to remember that. That's just the wood finishing series from 2020. But that one was more like traditional notes, vanilla, caramel bomb. So that was really emphasized on that. And then this year they had some fun with it again. And the team that does these, it's really two people headed up, and that is from Maker's Mark. It's Jane Bowie, so the Master of Maturation, Director of Innovation, one of the good friends of the ABV Network. And then the other person who helps out with this is Andrew Wiehebrink, the Director of Research and Development for whiskey for Independent Stave Company. So the two of them collaborate on these things. They try the different experiments and stuff like that. And what I like about what they did this year, they decided to do two because they had two really great ideas. They wanted to replicate the smell of a rickhouse and turn that into a taste. And that's what with FAE 01, that's what they came up with. And again, will it taste exactly like a rickhouse smells? That's the goal. Do these things ever live up to exactly that? Well, of course not, but they're trying. Just like when you just, get a bourbon candle, and it might smell good and maybe give you some nuances of rickhouse, but it doesn't taste exactly. But that was the goal. So we'll see if they live up to that. And then the second one, they wanted to try something different, really focus in on the FAE, fatty acid esters, and really work on the mouthfeel to really create a different experience for this. And they've used different staves. So American oak staves on FAE 01, French oak staves on FAE 02. And they said that, this, is kind of a dark dried fruits, tobaccos, but what you're really going to be different here is the mouthfeel of this one. So that'll be fun knowing kind of going in what they're shooting for with these two experiments. So we're going to try both of them. We'll try them 2 times, and then we're actually going to vote and see which one is best. So that's the goal for this evening, is to figure out which one is best. How many of these have you guys tried? Has anybody tried either of these two tonight, FAE 01 or 02? Either of those? Okay.
Not 01, not 02, Steve.
Okay. No 02 yet. All right. What about the other ones? Did you guys try the 2020 SC4 PR5?
Yes.
Yeah. I tried that one. I liked the RC6 better, the 2019. And the best one, I think, so far has been the Seared BU. But again, that wasn't a widespread release. But again, it kind of had that old school, like old granddad butterscotch bomb type of thing. Lee, how you doing, man?
Good. Sorry, I was running in from traveling, so
hey, no big deal.
Get on here quick.
No big deal. We appreciate you being here and being part of this, and we're going to have some fun and taste hopefully some good whiskey tonight. I don't know what happened to the legend. Should we wait for him? It's just people are watching us. We're just waiting here. No, I think we have to go on. He can catch up on the recording, so hopefully he'll be back soon. So let's start out with FAE 01. We'll go in the order. Again, this one came out earlier this year. 02 came out later. Let's what do we think we're getting here on the nose?
I don't know if it's the power of suggestion, but it kind of does smell like a rick house.
Yeah, it smells like the angel
It
share.
does.
Got a little bit of that musty smell.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of oak there.
The vanilla and caramel is just,
Yeah.
where it should be. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of tobacco-y too. You can almost smell those spider webs that are in there in the rick house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a really cool one of those on the side of the house. I was raking leaves on the side because we get lots of leaves pile up along our sidewalk there, so we had to clean it off. And I looked up, we have a garden window that extends out, and it had what looked like the same webs that you see in a rick house, where it's not like circle or hexagons or anything like that. It's just this looks like just ugly drapery, it's just, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I wanted to get a photo of it, and I look over and there's the warden with a broom cleaning that off there. So I was like, I wanted to get a photo of that. I was like, oh, it's like we have an outdoor rick house here, but opportunity lost. She was too quick. Anyway, getting anything else on the nose?
a little cherry on it.
Cherry. Mm-hmm. I definitely get that too.
In awesomeness.
So
I got a ton of red wine, actually. I must be off tonight.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of red wine for some reason.
Okay.
Might be that fruitiness from the red wine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A little fruitiness.
Fruitiness.
Pleasant nose. I like it.
Yeah, smells great.
Yeah. Justine, did you find the legend? I know you left for a little bit. Were you looking for him?
Yeah, I didn't find him.
Didn't find him. Okay. It's like a horror movie. I thought we'd lose you too then, but you're back. So that's good. All right. All right.
Rick is
Let's
in the Matrix.
exactly. Let's take this one. Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's pretty darn good.
Mhm.
It's
Ooh, that's-
fruity. It's also got some graham crackers in there,
Some butter and honey.
butter and honey.
Yeah.
The finish is great.
What's the proof on this?
This one is 110.6.
Hmm.
And 02, I believe, is 109.1. It looks like I didn't write that one down, but I believe that is the correct amount.
That's nice. They left the proof a little bit higher on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
it pulls out a whole lot more flavors too.
Mhm.
It does. It definitely does.
That one's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got a very subtle sweetness to it.
Mhm.
It's frustrating when you get a pour of a bourbon you've not had before and you start to nose it and it's like, I'm not getting anything.
Hmm.
This one is, you definitely get stuff.
You get everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one's the opposite. You get everything. There's a lot there. Yeah. All right, let's talk a little bit. What else we're getting on the taste specifically? We'll go around the room since it's a small group, friendly group. We'll start with Justine. Justine, what are you getting taste wise?
Kind of candy-ish, like a saltwater taffy.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
kind of the same thing that everybody else mentioned. Also, maybe a little toffee.
Toffee. Yep, I can see that. Lee, how about you?
You know, I want to say I'm getting like a little bit of caramel apple because it's got a brightness to it. And so, I mean, I definitely am getting some of the other notes as well, the caramel and vanilla, but that brightness just kind of strikes me as a little bit of caramel apple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How about you, Neil?
Well, I was gonna say like a cinnamon graham cracker, but then now I'm getting more of like an apple dumpling. I stole hers, but apple dumpling flavor to it.
So she said that, and then you stole it.
Then
Yeah.
I smell it. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not super sweet. I mean, it's just really nicely
very subtle,
balanced.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
just the honey flavor to it.
Yeah. It's definitely a really, really nice drinker for sure. How about you, Rob?
So I get like dates or
Okay.
some dark fruit initially, and then maybe oatmeal cookie.
Okay.
And then to me, the finish kind of reminds me of like a can of Coke,
Mm-hmm.
not Diet Coke, not fountain Coke, a can of original Coke is sort of how
Cola. Yeah.
it's got that brightness, as Lee sort of described, that I feel like it's almost a cola influence.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good description for sure. All right. Next up with some insightful notes. Let's go to Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill, what are your notes?
Well, to begin with, I like it. You're expecting that.
Right. That's what I was. That's what I thought I would hear based on
But,
what I'm
but- but
tasting. Yeah, I would think I would get that rating.
I can't argue with anything anybody has said. The mouthfeel is really awesome because it just clings to your mouth all over.
Mhm.
Your teeth, the top of your mouth, your palate. I mean, just all over, and it's awesome. I really like that.
Yeah.
But as it starts to fade, I'm getting a little bit of like at the end of a Werther's. You had a Werther's in your mouth and it's
Yeah.
gone, and you got that after feel. I'm kind of getting that.
Yeah. It is very pleasant on the aftertaste and
Yes.
everything. Sometimes they're drying at the end and stuff. This one's not. It's just really, really.
They should
good.
all be made like this.
Yeah, this could be the gold standard. All right, Dave, we'll go to you next.
A little, I'm definitely getting a little honey, a little maybe caramel apple, a little bit of that. And then there's just something pleasant left there that hard to say what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
I can't identify it. It's just
Let's-
nice, whatever it is.
Adina could probably get it. She's pretty
She
good.
would,
good
she
at this
would,
stuff.
yeah.
Let's see what Adina comes up with.
I'm definitely getting the oak off of it,
Mhm.
the barrel and the char, which is very pleasant.
Yes.
It's not, it kind of reminds you where it came from.
Yeah.
And then, like I said before, the butterscotch and like Justine said with the toffee, get all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mr. Legend, we're going through and tasting the first one. The FAE 01 is what we're on right now.
Sorry about that. I'm in the process of trying to set up looking at a van to buy, and that was the seller that was calling me. So
Oh, are you a van owner now? Did you make a deal?
I just got to see it. But yeah, it's a
Sounds
friend
really
of
good.
Jen's. It's a handicap equipped van.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Got a wheelchair ramp built into it, and
Yeah, that'll be good.
It's down by the
So it'll
river.
hold more bourbon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's got to go down by the
Yeah.
river to go look at it.
I was waiting for somebody to say that.
It's a friend of Jen's mom. She lives down in Arkansas.
In
So-
Arkansas. Okay.
Yeah. Probably this weekend, we're gonna meet halfway.
Halfway meeting. Okay.
Yeah.
Road trip.
Road
Yeah.
trip. Yeah.
But it's kind of a hard
Bourbon
deal to
hunting.
beat if it's in as good a shape as I think it is. It's a 2010 Honda Odyssey
Okay.
with 55,000 miles
That's a good deal.
with $14,000 worth of accessibility upgrades to it
Yeah.
that they won 20 grand for.
Yeah.
Deal.
Like,
Sounds like a deal, man.
yeah,
It's barely broken in, really.
I know.
Yeah. I've been all over in a Honda Odyssey. My parents had one of those. It was like our road trip cars. We go to Branson, 4 times a year and stuff. So yeah, they're comfortable. They're good cars, easy to drive. This will give you your mobility back too. That's been the thing you had.
Well, yeah, I'll be able to do stuff by myself. I won't
Can't
need
go by
anybody to
yourself, right?
get my stuff in and out of the van. It's actually got hand controls too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. This is bad news for Adam Stumpf, but yeah, that's good news for you.
Yeah.
You'll pop in there all the time now.
Yeah. Okay.
You're back to being mobile, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right.
All right. Well, you can get caught up. We're going to move on to O2 though. So let's grab our O2. The one that just came out, I don't know, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago now. I'm not sure. Not that long ago. I got these at the distillery. They had both of them there, which was nice. When they released O2, they also held back some O1 so you could get both of them, which was cool.
Really nice nose, but a little more subtle than
It is more subtle, yeah.
Hmm.
But what is there is very pleasant. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It does not smell like a rick house.
No, this one's not Rickhouse-ish.
I'm getting pineapple off of that nose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Adina, you're right
There-
on. That's a weird one, but I'm telling you.
Tropical fruit, huh?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
a sweet pineapple, like a pineapple upside down cake pineapple.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd almost say candied pineapple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm. That's pretty good. All right, let's try it. This is the one they put together, hoping for a good mouthfeel. Let's see what they did. Cheers, gang.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's pretty wild, right?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well, that is very good. Definitely a great mouthfeel. Very unique, different than really anything I've ever had before.
Mhm.
A little bit of a slow fuse to it, so you drink it, and then it's kind of like, where's the finish? And then there's the finish.
Oh.
And here comes the finish. So
Kind of
Yeah.
dangerous.
yeah, it's like
Mm-hmm.
a pineapple with cayenne or jalapenos or something.
mhm.
Yeah,
Some
Steve,
of
when I signed up for this, I did it because I had an FAE 01, but I didn't have a 2. So I thought, well, this could be my opportunity to try the 2. What did Danny show up last weekend when he came over here? He brought an 02.
He had the O2. Okay. I'm sorry, no refunds.
Well,
I know. Yeah, I'm kidding. So yeah,
This is almost like a tiki drink in a glass.
yeah,
it is. It
yeah,
is.
this is really
It's
good.
got like the allspice to it and
Oh.
pineapple and
Yeah, voting on these is not going to be fun. They're both great
Oh.
for very different reasons, but
Yeah,
So this kind of reminds me, because it's sweet, like it smells a lot or it tastes a lot like the nose, but then it's got that bite to it. And like I agree with Melanie, it's kind of got like this peppery like cayenne or something, but it reminds me of like a like that mango pineapple salsa that you can get at the store.
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
But let's not forget this is a weeded bourbon.
Yeah,
So
Oh,
I
wow.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing that we got to remember here. If I would taste that, I would tell you based on the tingly sensation across my whole palate. It's not just
you
one.
think it'd be a high rye bourbon.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
think it'd be a
kind of
high
rye.
rye. Yeah,
Right.
it's not. That's pretty wild.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Mhm. Yeah, and like I said, it's kind of that's a little bit of a delay reaction to it too, and then
Mhm.
Got a
here it
great
comes.
finish.
Like I said,
Yeah.
slow fuse. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That is really good. These are both fantastic. Couple of home runs. So we'll have to see what one did best, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll see. Justine shared that. Lee, anything you want to add on top of that? What anything else you're getting as you taste
You
this?
know, I feel like it just lingers so long in my mouth. It's like an oily mouthfeel,
Mm-hmm.
which is really good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as
Absolutely. Adina, how about you?
Like I said, it just reminds me of a tiki drink.
The tiki drink, yeah.
Yeah,
Which those are always very complex because there's probably like
yeah.
30 ingredients in them. Tiki
Right.
drinks are super complicated.
I mean, it tastes like in the pineapple, the allspice, the tiki bitters.
Mhm.
And then, you know, with the aging on it too, is just, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Dave, how about you?
I don't know. This reminds me of kind of, I've had candies they've got some chilies in them.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the sweet and then you get the heat.
Yeah.
Kind of remind me of that a little bit.
Yeah.
Very pleasant.
Mr. Legend?
Part of it reminds me of the fruit cake I made over the weekend, which has pineapple in it.
Okay.
But it's got a great finish. It just keeps on going.
Yeah.
Great mouthful.
That's pretty cool. Rob, how about you?
So like Legend said, the FAE 02 is sort of the reason I signed up as well. I hadn't had this one, and it doesn't disappoint. I'm always impressed by how Makers does such different things and creates such different experiences with the series.
They have one product.
It's one product, and they're
They have a
finishing
whole
it
portfolio
differently.
with one product. Yeah.
But they're incredible at doing it, and
Right.
I advocate for Makers all the time, and this doesn't disappoint. I think this is a really unique, good pour.
Yeah, they did really good here for sure. Mr. Bill, what are your thoughts on this second one, FAE 02?
Ditto. It's fantastic. Everything everybody said is really good. Enjoying it.
That's good. All right, Melanie, I'll ask you first so Neil doesn't steal yours.
Yeah, what everybody said, and I see drinking this on the beach,
Mhm.
and the first one by Dave and Adina's fireplace. Just, I mean, the first one just a little bit more mellow and
Yeah.
you know, a little smoother. Hate that term for bourbon, but they're
Oh, yeah.
both really good.
That gets you into online fights. It's a whole thing. It's a whole yell at you culture that if you say smooth. So, well. Neil, how about you?
Yeah, the only thing I have to add is I like the fact that Makers is finally experimenting with some higher proof
Yes.
releases,
Oh,
and
yeah.
what that shows me is, you know, you can't not like Maker's Mark, but it has elevated, I think, the complexity of and more flavors. It's more flavorful to me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's definitely a good thing. I just always felt that way, that Makers just needed a little bit more oomph. And, you know, when they came out with the cast drink, there was like, finally, now they got something. Now they're doing all these other different experiments and cool things. You know, it's really, really, really great. And just getting creative, like I said, with what they've got. So that's cool. All right, let's put 02 aside for a moment. We'll come back to it. Let's go back to 01 because we do like to always test twice. Sometimes things evolve a little bit, whether that's the whiskey or us. It does. We've seen votes change. So you may be thinking, you know, which one you like better. But we have to do the due diligence of going through and trying it twice. So grab 01 and let's talk now about on the nose.
Still has that Rick House, but I'm getting a lot of toffee on the nose now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe making toffee in a Rick House.
Mhm.
You can make yourself pick out some of the familiar smells of a rick house. You know, the wood, the
Yeah.
dirt floor, like I said, the spider webs.
The spider webs. Yeah. 'Cause there's this
you can kind of
mustiness in a
picture
Rick
all that
House.
mustiness, yeah.
Yeah, it's all, you can almost smell the dampness.
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the charred wood. And you
Yeah.
still get that smell too.
Mm-hmm.
the oakiness from the barrels. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's definitely got that that candy nose or that toffee nose, like Lee was just saying there. It's really good. All right, let's give it a final try here. Let's see what we got. That's good. I mean, definitely the dark fruits, but also kind of creaminess to it too. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, kind of.
Definitely getting a little more wood this time too,
Mhm.
which I actually like, but
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's good. What else does anybody want to add to this one?
To me, this is like almost the perfect traditional bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's got all of those, the perfect bourbon notes in the right quantity and
Yes.
the mouthfeel is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yep. Finish is great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It does not have an uncomfortable hug.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I agree too that you definitely want to taste the oak on these things when you're drinking them. I mean, that's a key part of bourbon, but it has to be also done right. And this is done very well. You know, sometimes when they do that rapid age stuff, you know, they give it this super oak taste and they're like, look, it tastes like it's been aged a long time. No, it doesn't. When it's been aged a long time, it doesn't taste like just oak. It tastes like other things.
Mhm.
You know, all these other flavors that we like, and all that's going on there. This kind of explosion of different flavors from sweet stuff to other things like leather even and oak, and it's really well put together. Really, really a solid bourbon for sure.
Yep.
Anything else anybody wants to add? For the record, before I close the official record process down. Okay.
Found it anywhere, I would buy it.
Okay. There you go. If you see it, buy it. That's the key with these.
Yeah,
things.
Absolutely.
You see, you buy. Leave it and be like, well, I may get this tomorrow when I'm back. It'll be gone.
Yeah.
Never works out that way for you. All right, let's grab FAE 02. I mean,
Thank you.
that pineapple is still there.
getting loads of caramel as well.
What was that? I'm sorry. I missed
I'm
it.
getting loads of caramel as well.
Caramel, yeah. Yeah,
You're right, that tropical fruit is still there.
it's still there. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely getting Rick's fruit cake with cream cheese frosting right now.
Yeah, I was going to say too that it sounds. I mean, it noses like maybe some frosting's been added while we were talking about the other one.
Almost
To
get a
like
brandy note.
brandy.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, here we go. Let's officially taste and see what we got notes wise. Yeah. Well, I really like what's going on the finish.
Yep.
That delay is funny because it's like there's nothing there, and then it just comes back and it's
Right in
still
the middle of your
right now.
palate. Boom.
Yeah, yeah. It's still, as I'm talking, it's kind of
Yeah, it
still
stays.
still growing, still intensifying. So, yeah, that's really good.
It's not the longest finish I think anything I've had in a while.
Yeah. Anything else?
Mhm.
Tasting notes wise,
I feel like I might be getting like some orange peel on this.
hmm
Yeah.
Let's see that.
Yeah.
Starting to feel almost kind of dry toward the end of the, as it finishes.
Yeah, but not terribly so.
No.
No, not in an unpleasant way.
No. Yeah, that's really very, very solid.
Are we allowed to abstain from voting?
No, you have to vote. You have to vote.
Gotta pick one.
That's a tough one.
I'm
It's
just
good-
gonna
it's-
flip a coin.
it is that tough. So what we'll do next, I'll give you, a couple minutes and please take advantage of that time. I think this one's that close where you do not want to, assume anything. You want to taste these side by side. And I'm going to be doing the same thing. I get to vote. This isn't a blind tasting where I have some sort of advantage. I'm playing the game like you guys tonight. So and it's not said. I honestly think which one would be your favorite is be whichever one you're drinking. They're that good, but
Right.
we got to pick a favorite for the event. It's part of the
That
fun of
doesn't,
the
that
event.
doesn't help, Steve.
I know it doesn't.
What is my favorite daughter?
Yeah,
Yeah, you never want to do that. Yeah.
No.
yeah. They're very different.
Yeah, they're different. Like these are.
Yeah. That's important to point out. They are very different. Yeah. But also very good in different ways.
Mhm.
It's like Melanie just said, if you're looking for that really traditional bourbon flavor, the 01 is it. But if you're looking for something a little more interesting than 02.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to just sip and not think about it, or if you want to go, that's different.
Right. Yeah. You want to actively mine tasting notes in that. 02 might be the better one because it's a little bit more non-traditional, a little bit different things. Like, for God's sakes, pineapple tonight and chilies and
Tiki.
different things. Tiki. Yeah. Those aren't the normal things on our flavor wheel.
It's not normal bourbon notes.
Right.
Got to add that to our flavor wheel, though.
Yeah.
Tiki, pineapple.
Pineapple and Canadian bacon, and people go,
Hey,
Bourbon's got to go on the flavor wheel as well.
It is going to be on there. It is going to be, and people are going to be furious. I'm telling you, I'm going to get killed online when that comes out. We have one of our notes is bourbon, but we'll get it. It's like an inside joke. We'll get it.
We'll support you, Steve.
Yeah. Like, how can you put that on there? It's like, it makes sense. For us, it makes sense.
Mhm.
It's all that matters.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we think or we say that, for opinions or descriptions that maybe not everybody else is going to get. But
Right.
do we care?
So we got our own little group. Yeah, we don't care. We're not out to make people happy. We're out to, to have a good time on these things.
I kind of describe these as, all right, you're going to be tasting Maker's Mark, and you're thinking, it's a staple, on your bar, and not to degrade Makers or anything, but it's a bologna sandwich. It's a staple,
Right.
And then you taste these, and you're like, yeah, I can taste everything there. That it's Makers, but it's so much more elevated.
Yes. Yeah. And if you can find them there, affordable, right around the $60 range.
Right.
Yeah. Which is really a great price on something that's so flavorful and different. And, in today's, $200 and $300 bourbons, getting something that's really this good that could stack up against anything. I mean, even those $200 and $300 bourbons is pretty darn neat to get something in the $50, $60 range. So that's cool.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
this
this
is
is-
good. This never even crossed my radar to even look into this one.
Mhm. Yeah. So definitely be on the lookout. All right.
Look for a bottle of this.
It is now time to vote. The tough thing. I think we got to have Melanie get out of the way here. She's got to make her go first. Melanie's got to go
Hey.
first. 01 or 02, Melanie?
as much as I really like traditional bourbon, and that first one is like an elevated traditional bourbon, I think I'm going to go with the second one because it is different.
Okay. 02. 02. All right. We'll go with Neil. Keep it easy here.
I like, if I'm a lot of times when I'm drinking bourbon, I like the combination of the nose and the taste. And I think for me, one has the best combination of both of those. So I'm going with one.
One. Okay. You know what these do feel like, though? These feel like almost part of the demand of being on the event is finish them off tonight, but don't wash your glasses. Leave them set out overnight. And, you get those amazing nosing I found when we did our taste thing last Thursday, on Sunday when I was podcasting, I found a glass I somehow left, and it was from one of those. And man, the nose is so different and great. It feels like both of these would be pretty awesome. So put those glasses aside, nose them in the morning, and see what you think.
Yeah.
For sure.
I agree.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, we're split on our vote already, so that shows you what kind of night we're going to have, I think. So, Rob, you're next, man. What do you think? 01
right,
or
so-
02?
I'll preface this by saying probably the hardest selection that I've had in any of these events. Honestly, I think if you asked me 10 times, I'd probably give you 10 different answers. Long story short, I think because the second time around FAE 02, that finish was so long to the point where I kind of found it a tad off-putting. Like it almost got it almost got like a little much. Like
right, is this thing still going? Yeah,
it almost felt like heartburn at some point. But
Finished already? Okay.
I'm gonna go to 01 because it just felt a little more in the pocket. It felt more Maker's Mark, and it sort of checked more of the traditional boxes, as some others said.
Okay. All right. 01 goes back up 2-1. All right, Lee, you're next.
So I'm going to pick 02, and it's mostly because I like that oily mouthfeel, which just kind of lingers. But I have to say, I think the nose on the 01 was my preferred nose, but I'm still going 02.
Okay. Okay. So if you're keeping score along with me, it is 2-2. We are deadlocked. Mr. Bill, you're next. 01 or 02?
01, all the way.
Okay.
I like both of them a lot, but 01.
Like the classic notes of 01. Okay. Fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough. All right. Justine, you're next.
So if you ask me tomorrow, I may say something different, but they're both really good. But as of today, I'm going to go with 02.
02. Okay. We're tied up 3-3. This couldn't work out any crazier. All right, Adina, you're next. 01 or 02? We're in a dead heat right here, right now.
I am going to go with 02 for the fact that if I'm sitting around drinking these with someone, conversation with 01 would just go, this is really a good bourbon. And with 02, it was like, wow, what's all the stuff in this bourbon? So I think it would be the conversation about the bourbon that would lead me to number 2.
Number 2. Okay.
But
Fair
I
enough.
love number 1.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Dave, how about you? 01 or 02?
This is horrible. I love both of them, honestly, but yeah, 01 takes me back to a rick house, and it just that's stereotypical. Somebody hands you a Kentucky bourbon, it should be like that, or just wow, just awesome. But it's got more. I think it's got a little bit more depth than 2, more going on there. But 2 is just, God, that mouthfeel and the lingering mouthfeel and a little bit of the. I'm a huge tiki fan, so you got me at tiki. So I got to go with 02.
02. Okay. Okay. That means 02 has stepped out in front, but it's up by 2. There's 2 votes left. We could have a dead even tie. If we tie, we'll go to Wiehebrink. We'll call him up. We'll do a thing where we just randomly call Wiehebrink and
awesome.
And make him answer. Yeah.
Call him anyway.
If he'll pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Should we call him?
Yeah.
What's your favorite piece of wood? Okay.
All right, let's call Wiehebrink. Let's have him vote. Just blind. I did not tell him I was going to do this or anything. So again, Andrew Wiehebrink, if you don't know who he is, he's the guy who's.
We're not done voting.
Well, I know, but let's see because this could change things. So let's see.
No,
I don't want to
you
tell
need
him.
to vote before you talk to him.
Right.
I agree. I agree.
Let's this thing's not over when we talk.
That just means that Wiehebrink is going to sway votes because Steve's going to vote with Wiehebrink.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. Now, as always, you'll be able to hear him. I got headphones on. He can't hear you guys. So if he answers, he's smart if he doesn't, but he probably will. Director of Research and Development for Independent Stave. He can't be doing anything. I talked to him today, by the way. He's supposed to podcast with us on
The
Sunday.
person you called has
No.
a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
Shut up.
He hasn't even set up his- he hasn't even set up his-
He's not even taking messages.
He's working on the next release.
Yeah, he could be. He could be. Let's say sometimes it helps to do the quick 2 phone calls. So we'll try a second one. Sometimes that is the way you
He
get.
may not be as dumb as you think he is.
Give the give that second one, and they're like, "Oh, this must be important." See, I told you, hey man, I've got an event going on, and we're having some fun. So it's and we want to call you. So people can hear you, by the way. So you're live. You can't hear them because I'm just holding the phone up to the mic. So you can say hello to everybody though. So
hello, everybody.
So
Hey.
Mr. Wiehebrink,
Hey.
question for you. This event is FAE 01 is taking on FAE 02. We
Oh,
are
wow.
we're in the middle of voting on this thing, and before we finished it out, we wanted to call you and have you weigh in because we actually have an even number of people, so we could end in a tie. We don't want to do that, so we want to ask you, what is your favorite out of the two? We hate putting you on the spot because you're involved in the project, but yeah, we're going to put you on the spot.
I would have to say, my opinion, FAE 02.
02.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That clinches it for 02. 02 is going to be our champion tonight. The legend and I will still vote, but tell us a little bit about, what it's like working on these things. It's got to be a lot of fun, isn't it?
It's a lot of fun. No, it is. Makers, they give me pretty direct marching orders.
Uh-huh.
So it's a pretty, kind of tight line that I have to walk.
Right.
What kind of makes it fun for me is, obviously the tasting part. We do a lot of iterations, so you get to spend a lot of time over there at Makers, and that's, they're great people there. So that's really the fun part about it. But it is a little bit challenging. Each one of these things that we do, like the restrictions and the flavor constraints, just get tighter and more specific and generally more difficult.
Right. Well, I'll say this. Oh, go ahead.
Like, you hit the basics and people haven't tasted the basics yet. So they're really, really easy to hit. And then it's like, okay, well, we got to do something that's, not been done before or something new. So it just gets progressively more difficult as these releases go on.
Yeah. I know that there were some goals with these, and I'll tell you what, the team here tonight that was on this really said you hit the mark on both of these, and they're both excellent, by the way. We were struggling. That's why we had some fun, called you. We love them both, but it's really close margin here. They're both great, but I know that the goal with FAE 01 was to get a taste like the Rickhouse smells. And I think the group kind of agreed that you guys hit it on that mark. And FAE 02 was all about having this unique mouthfeel and experience. And you guys definitely hit on that. It's very unique and just an incredible sensory experience with that one going on. So it's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, each one of those, they kind of base it off, one of the, key aspects that makes, Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
So, fatty acid esters, a lot of it comes from the yeast strain. They have a unique still design that actually captures a lot of those, which I don't really think they talk about in the tours, but they do have a unique still design. At the very top of their still, they have almost like a vapor cone. It kind of sucks up some of these compounds that otherwise might get refluxed. And so we just try to capture and try to accentuate those things. Well, shouldn't say I try to capture. Jane and her crew try to capture.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But, yeah, man. Like I said, they just get more difficult and a lot more fun. But this FAE 02 is a good one.
Okay. Last question for you, then I'll let you go. And I don't want any industry secrets. I don't want anything shared that you're not. But are you guys? Do you already start working on these for like next year? What's like the timeline, without saying what it is or anything like that? But do you already begin work on something like that?
Yeah. No, we do.
Okay.
We usually start once we actually start moving into barrel trials with these things. A lot of the stuff that we do is, bench trial, lab work. Once we start moving into barrel trial, we start working on, next year's.
Yeah, very cool. Well, hey, thanks so much, man. Really appreciate you picking up, and you just add to the fun of these events. And we just try to be a little goofy and do things like that. So we appreciate you being part of these when we ambush you and call you, man.
Thanks for thinking. I mean, I'll see you on Sunday.
All right, buddy. Sounds good. I'll see you then. Bye.
Cool.
There you go, Andrew Wiehebrink.
So cool. So what is the age statement on these two?
I don't know that they have one. I think they continue on with that.
They aged the taste.
They aged the taste.
So they don't put any official age statement or anything. We are going to finish this thing out with our votes. So Rick, it can't be caught. It's up 6-3. Two votes left.
Well, mine was going to be O2.
O2. Justine's going to say I'm copying off Wiehebrink, but I am not. That's what I was going to vote for many of the same reasons like Adina and Dave were saying. The fact it's so different and unique.
Yeah,
It would
that-
it'd be
that
a
was my
conversation
reason, too.
starter. Yeah. I love them both. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be happy with a bottle of either one, and I could drink either one all night and be happy. But yeah, for the reason because it's just so different. That's why I would have picked that one. So there we go. Boy, it was we did the right order though there. That was good because it was all the way back and forth 3-3. So that was fun. So there you go. There's FAE 01 versus 02. I'm sure we'll be getting whatever they're doing next year. They've got us now. Now they've hooked us. They've given us some good stuff here. We want to see what else they're going to do with this wood finishing series. So with that, any questions or anything?
That would make the O2 would make a good bourbon Rita
A bourbon Rita. Okay. Yeah.
with that slow fused spice coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they make a good Bloody Mary.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yep.
It'd make a really nice neat as well.
It works well one of these.
Yeah.
You have the recipe for that one, Bill?
Yes.
It's a secret recipe.
Almost empty though.
Glass pour. So there you go. All right, I'll shut off the recorder. Of course, I'll stick around, talk and chat as much as you like. A big announcement as soon as we hang up. Thanks, guys. See you.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.